Today I'm just going to do kind of a recap of the last 10 years, all the signs in the heavens, and some of the other signs that we've had on Earth too. Um, it's just going to be, I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, under 30 minutes. But I'm going to start in the book of Genesis 1 and 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven." And that word heaven right there, it's talking about the sky, up in the sky where the stars are at. You can see right here the Hebrew word of that. "To divide the day and night, and let them be for signs," which this word sign is sign, signal, a distinguishing mark, banner, remembrance, miraculous sign, an omen, a warning, a token and sign, standard, miracle, and proof. And for seasons. He said they're supposed to be for signs, which I just read that to you, in seasons. And the seasons is appointed place, appointed time, meeting, appointed time, sacred season, set feast, appointed season, appointed meeting, appointed place, appointed sign or signal, and it can also mean tent of meeting. So God himself said that that's why he put the sun and the moon in the heavens, not to be able to divide the night from the day, but also to let them be for signs and for seasons, which is appointed times. All right, so we're going to start getting into this now. We're going to start, though, I'm going to start with these two cows that were born in September 2014 and September 25th of 2014. These cows were born and they had sevens on their head. There's like a perfect sevens on their heads, and they were born here in the United States. And it kind of goes back to the story of Joseph in the Bible and the Pharaoh that had the dream about the 14 cows, and 7 of them was fat and the other ones was like real scrawny, like they were starving to death. And Joseph had to interpret the dream of what it meant. And it represented 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. So these were born in 2014, and that's pretty much whenever the blood moons happened, which we'll kind of go over them a little bit too. And if you look at the dates of when these cows were born, the first one that the media called Benjamin, the black and white cow, it was born on the 20th of September, which was the Sabbath before Rosh Hashanah, which is Feast of Trumpets. And then the second one was born on the 25th of Rosh Hashanah, which is Feast of Trumpets, which is the first feast of the Lord in the fall time. Okay, so go out of those. All right, and then in 2014, we had 4 blood moons, and then we had a solar eclipse, which is pretty wild because this was exactly 10 years ago whenever these started in 2014, or it's almost 10 years. In April, it'll be 10 years since these started. The first one was on Passover in 2014, and then the second one was on Sukkot, which is Feast of Tabernacles, which is the last feast of the Lord. There's 7 of them, and Passover's the first one, and Sukkot is the last one. And we know that Jesus fulfilled the first 3 feast of the Lord whenever he died and was crucified and was buried and rose from the grave. And then the fourth one was Pentecost, which was fulfilled whenever the Holy Spirit came down. The last 3 feasts have not been fulfilled yet. But anyway, these blood moons in 2014, it was on Passover, and Feast of Tabernacles, the first and the last. And then in 2015, Passover again, and Feast of Tabernacles, the first and the last. Or you could say the beginning of the end. And a lot of people, they thought that the rapture was going to happen on these, but it was just a sign. God was letting us know it was the beginning of the end. That we were fixing to start going through birth pains. So we had this happen first, and then the red cows were born. And then not only that, but we also had, it was whenever ISIS had uh, reared its ugly head up in 2014. And right here's kind of a timeline of the ISIS. It started in northern Iraq in 2014 after the fall of Mosul, or however you say his name there. Um, ISIS demanded that Assyrian Christians living in the city convert to Islam and pay this right here, which is a tax, Islamic tax, or face execution by July 19th, 2014, which was right after that first blood moon. And we know that that just like got worse and worse and worse over the years. Um, and then in 2015, that's whenever they executed the 21 Egyptian migrant migrant workers that had been kidnapped, and they started killing Christians in Iraq in 2014, and it just kept on and on. You know, they put out videos of killing Christians, and it was just the Coptic Christian pilgrims that they killed uh, in 2018. I mean, there was quite a few of them that a lot of Christians got killed over ISIS. Whenever all that happened, and it happened right after that first blood moon, that was a warning of these things coming to pass. And if you look in Luke 21, even Jesus said that there would be Christian persecution and Christians getting killed uh, whenever we started seeing all these other things, you know, the wars and rumors of wars, great earthquakes, famines, pestilence, fearful sights, and great signs in the heavens. So we had that going on. Okay, let's jump on over here. Um, and then in 2017, we had the Revelation 12 sign. I don't know if you can hear, but it's starting to rain here and thunder like crazy. But this has only happened once in 7,000 years. On September 23rd of 2017, sorry, it's traffic going up in front of my house here. We had the Revelation 12 sign in the heavens, which that's kind of blurry. You can't really see it that good. And it says, there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed. Let me pull it up on my Bible app here and just read it to you. It's wrote right here, but I can barely see it. It's clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And that's whenever Jupiter, the king planet, it had been in her womb, the womb of Virgo, for 42 weeks before it came out between the legs here. And whenever it came out on September 23rd, 2017, whenever she gave birth to Jupiter, the king planet, the moon was at her feet, her sun was up here shining down on her, and there we had planetary alignments up here with the stars in Leo, which Leo is a representation of the Lion of Judah and 12 tribes of Israel. And she had altogether, if you're looking from Earth, if you was looking up into the sky with a telescope, it would look like exactly 12 stars on her head, just like the scripture said. So we had that happen. And let's see here. I'll go ahead and back out of that one. Sorry, my computer's like kind of slow today for real. Okay, I'll back out of that one. All right, and then this one here, a lot of people missed this. We had 3 lunar blood moon eclipse. It's not these ones, sorry. Let's close that down. And in 2018, on January 31st and July 27th of 2018, and then on 2019, we had another one in January on the 21st. So now to go back onto those dates, in 2018, this is very, very significant of when this was, because they actually landed on Jewish holidays, and there was hardly nobody that even paid attention to these lunar eclipse. I remember I caught it and was watching and looked up the dates whenever this was all happening, and this is what I found. And right here, the first one was January 31st, 2018. Get this pulled up. Is it going to pull up? Hang on. There we go. Okay, January of 2018, and it fell on the 31st, which was to be Shevat. Okay, that is a very significant date on the Hebrew calendar. The Hebrew calendar has 4 New Years on it. Sorry, I need something to drink here. My throat's getting dry. Okay. Tu B'Shavat is the new year of the trees. And the very first blood moon that came about on this 3 blood moon that was in a row, the first one was on the New Year's of the tree. So remember that. Remember that right there. Okay, the second one that we had, sorry, let's pull that down. Where's it at? The second one that we had was on July 27th on Tu B'Av. And Tu B'Av, that is in the Bible where they talked about where the tribe of Benjamin, I believe it was allowed to go out and marry outside of their tribes. So they celebrate it over in Israel now as it's almost kind of like their Valentine's Day. It's like where they have a lot of weddings on that day. It's like the biggest day in Jerusalem to get married on, to have your wedding on, is on this day right here, because that's whenever the virgins would go out and dance in the vineyards. And the tribes of Benjamin, they went out and they found their wife who they wanted to spend the rest of their life with, and they'd go pick one of the women out. So it's a day that they celebrate as especially for weddings in Israel, and it's actually in the Bible in the book of Judges. Okay, so remember that you got Year of the Tree, and then basically almost like a wedding day in the middle, and then the last one of the 3 that was in a row, the 3 blood moon eclipse that was in a row, this one fell on the 21st of January, which was Tu B'Shavat again, which is the New Year's of the trees. Okay. So now let's get in here. Let's read a little bit of Bible verses here. I'm going to read to you. I'm just going to read it off of here because I can look it up really quick on my phone. I didn't have it pulled up on my Bible app on the computer. But there is a couple of Bible verses that goes with this, because you got Year of the Trees, and then you've got like the wedding date where they have all the weddings in Jerusalem a lot on, which is marrying outside of the tribe, out of their tribes. And then you have another Year of the Tree. So you got a tree on each side. And I'm going to read this. So in the middle, you could pretty much say that in the middle is the church, and the trees and the two olive trees on each side. So the church would be of the seven candlesticks, because we were grafted in and we were Gentiles grafted in. So Christ was able to bring us as his bride outside of his tribe, you might say. And then we've got the two trees, the true olive trees on each side. And you can find those scriptures in Zechariah 4, where Zechariah seen a vision and God showed him a candlestick, all of gold, and a bow upon top of it, and its 7 lamps thereof, and 7 pipes, and the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bow, and the other on the left side, which we did. We had that Year of the Trees in front of at the first one, and then the last one was Year of the Trees. So it'd be like two olive trees, and then the menorah in the center. And then it talks about who the 2 olive trees were, and God said, "These are the 2 anointed ones that stand by the Lord in the whole earth." Well, if you go in Revelations 11, it talks about the 2 witnesses. And it says, "I will give power to my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth." These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. So we had a sign of the 2 witnesses, and a lot of people missed it. It was right there. It was right there, and we missed it. A lot of people missed it. So we had that happen in 2018, 2019, and then, which was in between these solar eclipses that started in 2017 that I just made a video of, and the last one going across in 2024. Well, if you read the Bible, whenever they divide that land, it's going to set the tribulation into place. It's going to make it start happening whenever they divide Israel, because it will be a covenant made that'll end up being broken halfway through. And it will cause a lot of war over there. And basically, part of the birth pains that Jesus talked about in Luke 21, one of the things during the birth pains was great signs in the heavens. And that's what we've been seeing for the last 10 years. So we've got 10 years, which 10 in the Bible, it means testimony, law, and responsibility. We have 7 years since the Virgo pregnancy sign in the heavens. And 7 means completion and perfection. And then we've had 5 years since the 2 witnesses signs in the heavens. And 5 means grace in the Bible. So I just thought I'd put that in there and tell you a little bit, some of the numbers, what they mean. If you look anywhere in the Bible that has to do with 5, it's always a story about grace. And 10 years, it stands for the testimony, law, and responsibility. Which remember the 10 Commandments and etc. Stuff like that. Um, so I just thought I'd jump on here and kind of refresh everybody on some stuff that has been going on the last 10 years, especially the signs in the heavens, and kind of bring to everybody's attention, the Bible verses. It talks about this stuff in the Bible and forewarned and told us that these things would be happening. So, but anyway, I'm going to get off of here right now. I've still got a lot of things to do. This is my last day of vacation, and I have got a ton of stuff I got to get done before I have to start back to work. But y'all have a wonderful day, and I hope y'all have a blessed weekend coming up. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up and like our page, subscribe to it so you can get more videos of the biblical things that are happening in the world right now that we're seeing come to pass. And I will be putting out some more of the prophecies that he has showed me over the years, as the Lord allows me to do it. He has to give me the okay to put it out there in his timing. It has to be his timing. But anyway, I love all y'all, and give us, some likes and help our page grow so that we can get this words out to more people and reach more people. And I appreciate all of y'all that has supported us so far and has helped out so far on the page. Y'all's all amazing how you've been sharing my page and sharing. Well, I'm going to say it's the Lord's page because I wouldn't be doing this if he hadn't told me to do it. So, I mean, absolutely, because I'm not one to want to be front and center. But anyway, I just hope y'all have a very blessed and wonderful weekend, and all of you take care and just stay in prayer and stay close to the Lord, because there's some crazy stuff happening out there these days. I mean, I never would have thought that things would be getting as crazy as what it is. That's for sure. But I hope y'all have a very blessed weekend, and have a good afternoon. Bye.